Welcome to the Biological Agents video in our Export Controls video series. Biological agents may be controlled under the Export Administration Regulations, the EAR, or the International Traffic in Arms Regulations, the ITAR. Life sciences researchers are typically familiar with select agent regulations, but the EAR controls more than select agents. For example, yellow fever virus and rabies are examples of agents controlled under the EAR that are not select agents. Under the select agent rules, there is an exemption for a small amount or if the agent is attenuated. There is not a similar exemption under the EAR for this. All EAR-controlled agents will require a license for export to every country, including the UK, for any amount. The ITAR treats as a defense article any biological agent or biologically derived substance specifically developed or modified to increase its capability to produce casualties in humans or livestock, or to degrade equipment or damage crops. Countermeasures, prophylactics, and antidotes specific to those items are also ITAR controlled. Foreign nationals may not have access to ITAR-controlled biological materials without a license. Contact your export control lead, listed at the end of this video, for more help. We've included links to all of these regulations at the top of the page. Genomic material is controlled if the agent is specifically listed. This includes genetic elements or genetically modified organisms, GMOs, that contain nucleic acid sequences associated with the pathogenicity of controlled microorganisms. If it is a genetic element, it can be hard to show it is not associated with pathogenicity. If you are sending a piece of genetic material, ask, how can we document that we have reviewed and determined something does not meet the pathogenicity threshold? The golden test? Is it going to be able to replicate? Genomic material also includes nucleic acid sequences coding for any controlled toxin or toxin subunit. So what is not controlled? Pathogens or toxins not specifically listed. Gene fragments must be whole gene with ORF, chromosome fragments, or E. coli nucleic acid sequences, unless it includes the sequence code for verotoxin. So how do you know when a biological agent is controlled and a license review is or might be required? Information is not subject to export regulations if it is publicly available, meaning it's not proprietary information and is already published, arises during fundamental research, is educational, meaning it's taught in a catalog-listed course, or is included in certain patent applications. Sometimes, the answer to whether a biological agent is controlled is maybe, and a license might be required. You should contact your export control lead if you're conducting research or activities that involves increasing the pathogenicity of a listed biological agent or are using listed production technology if the technology you're using is not in the public domain. Maybe it was received under a non-disclosure agreement, or if you're conducting activities that involve a sanctioned country, such as Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Sudan, or Syria, including travel to, research in, collaboration with, or shipment to, including hand-carried shipments. Finally, there are some situations where we can tell you that yes, a license will be required. You should contact your export control lead for help obtaining a license if you'll be exporting by any means, mail, hand carry, or actual shipment, listed biological agents or production technology, biosafety equipment, items and technology modified for military use or for use as weapons of mass destruction, such as taking a controlled biological and learning how to make it more pathogenic, or research, activities, or exports that include a restricted country, entity, or individual. Remember that it can take 6 to 8 weeks to obtain a license, so make sure you confirm with your export control lead whether a license will be required well in advance of when you might need it. You're a researcher working with HIV. You know HIV is not a listed biological agent and plan to send the HIV to a colleague in Germany. Are you required to obtain an export control license?